Anchors up, sells at full. Welcome to the Sloopcast. How are you doing today, Kyle?
Doing all right, Jared. How are you?
Doing good. We just got done filming / recording Collegiate Chaos, which means it's time for Know Your Enemy. This game feels like it would have been a lot bigger had Illinois not been ramshackled by Indiana. This feels like it could have been a top 10 matchup. This feels like it could have had a ton of hype, maybe gotten game day to go out to Champaign. Has that ever happened before? I don't know. This feels like it could have been much bigger. much bigger than it has turned out to be. But we got our friend Bert here with us. So, Kyle, is it time to get to know our enemies?
Yes, sir. Let's get to know Illinois. Game being played in Champaign. 15.5 points in favor for the Buckeyes here.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that on Know Your Enemy, or excuse me, this is Know Your Enemy on Collegiate Chaos. I guess maybe just to jump right to it, I don't think that's enough points. Personally speaking, I expected the line to be more like 21.5, maybe 20.5. I was surprised that it came in the teens. That's my own take on it. Don't take that as advice unless you want to, but if you do, don't blame me. This team crushed Western Illinois. It's an FCS team. Who cares? They crushed Duke. We didn't necessarily know what to do with that information. We didn't know who Duke was.
Is tied first in the ACC.
That's not saying a lot. They put a whooping on Western Michigan. What does that really mean? Then the Indiana game came. And that game had a lot of hype around it. I believe Illinois was top 10 at the time. Kyle and I never bought into Illinois as much as a lot of the Big Ten media did.
They were going to be good. They're going to be good.
Yeah. I mean, I like Luke Altmyer. I think he's a very competent quarterback. I think he's going to piss off some Ohio State fans on Saturday on a couple drives. But here's what happened with Illinois. The hype got too big. And I don't mean that the hype got to Illinois and they thought they were all of it. And that's not what I'm saying. This is strictly about the media. It started with, hey, look, Illinois kind of has a favorable schedule. They have a senior team, a favorable schedule. Illinois could be really involved with maybe get into the Big Ten title game with this favorable schedule and a pretty senior team. And Luke Altmyer is pretty good. They got a good quarterback. A couple people say that, a few people say that, then a lot of people are saying it. So now you get this little bit of hype and it kind of grows into not a hot take anymore. Now it's just kind of the standard opinion. And the people who got in early, and there were some of the first people who were hyping up the possibility that Illinois could be a player in the Big Ten this year, they started doubling down. And the hype grew from, they have a pretty favorable schedule and a pretty good team, to all of a sudden hey, actually Illinois is pretty damn good, you guys. Actually, and now everyone's saying they're pretty damn good. Okay, actually they're great. Actually, they could challenge Ohio State and Oregon and Penn State on the field. This is the myth of Illinois. You just sort of watched it snowball through the preseason. And the hype got out of control.
Sure.
In my opinion, Illinois sitting here at what are they ranked right now? 17th. That feels about right for this team. Maybe even still a little inflated, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, this team, if we're looking at the stats here, they've been putting up points. Again, grant who they've played: Western Illinois, Western Michigan, Purdue. They've put up points, but they did put up the points that we thought that they should.
They've also been letting up a lot
25th,
of points, though.
No, it's getting there.
Oh, my bad.
25th in the country. They're scoring 34 points a game. They're 16th in the country at points per play. So that tells me that they're scoring points and doing it efficiently. Where else are they doing well? Passing yards per pass, number 4 in the country, 10.5 yards per pass.
That's really good.
But they
that's per pass attempt.
Yeah, but they are 103rd in the country in rushing yards and 113th at rushing yards per rush at 3.3 yards per rush against Western Illinois, against Duke, against Western Michigan.
Well,
I don't think they counted Western Illinois, but against
they don't
Duke,
count Western Illinois,
Western Michigan, and Purdue. You're only averaging 3.3 yards per rush.
Yeah,
I don't think no matter what you're good or bad in, it doesn't matter against how Ohio State's defenses look. But you're putting yourself into being more one-dimensional in passing.
Yeah,
and Ohio State can be like, all right, sure, go ahead and do that. I don't think it's going to bode well. And then on the opposite side, defensively, bottom half, near the bottom in most of the major categories here. Near the bottom in yards led up per game. Near the bottom passing yards per game. 72nd in rushing yards per game. Averaging just under 5 yards per carry. And they're letting up 45% on third downs defensively too. When Ohio State is near the top.
Yeah.
Or actually, I think they are number 1 in third down percentage.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, Ohio State offense, I think, should be like a hot knife through butter in this matchup.
Yeah, and not only, and like to go back to Illinois' offense for a second, not only are they one-dimensional when it comes to passing, and I like Luke Altmyer. I think he's a talented quarterback. I think he has NFL potential. I think he'll be one of those guys who's better in the NFL than he was in college, quite frankly.
Coming off a career high against Purdue, he threw for 390 yards.
Yeah.
In this one, 390 yards, 1 touchdown. Pretty accurate. He completed 19 passes. He was 19 for 22. 19 passes for 390 yards. That tells me that they're going deep and they were hitting those.
Right.
And Ohio State is near the top and not letting up those big plays.
Right. But back to Altmyer, and I'm not, is this a him thing or is this an offensive line thing? Is not a topic I want to get into right now, but he takes a lot of sacks. He's been sacked 19 times already this season. Does Altmyer do any run option looks? He does not have a ton of rushes. He has 30, of course, in college, these count for sacks, but to subtract the sacks out, he only has 20 rushes on the year. So he's not, to go back to that one dimensionality, he's not someone who I don't think he's someone Ohio State's going to feel like they need to keep the ends, in a contain mode. I think that they'll be willing to let the defensive ends go after him. I don't think this is going to be the Washington game. I think you can just go after Altmyer. And again, despite getting a lot of pressure this year, he still has completed almost 75% of his passes. He still averages over 10 yards per attempt. And he has thrown 0 interceptions and 12 touchdowns.
Can't ask for really much any better. You're not turning the ball over 1,500 yards. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even look to see where he's at individually.
Nearly
there,
16.
But yeah, nearly 1,600. Yeah.
He's a great quarterback. Luke Altmyer is a great quarterback. He's a great college quarterback. I think he can, again, I think he has NFL potential. I really like Luke Altmyer.
In the country.
Yeah, I really like Luke Altmyer. I think he's carrying this team into the top 25, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm. He's been, how many times do you think he's been sacked?
19.
So far? And
19. I already said it.
Yes, 19. Okay.
Yeah.
19.
Yeah, I already said it. It's a lot. Their quarterback sack per play percentage is over 10%, nearly 11%. They're in the bottom 125th in the country. They're not good at protecting Luke Altmyer.
Yeah, he's on track to be sacked the most in his career, which he was sacked last year 32 times. And then his first year at Illinois, after he transferred from Ole Miss, he was sacked 34 times.
Yeah. I mean, listen, this team has a very good passing attack. But
they got to protect first.
But I think that's kind of where this ends. I think Illinois, we've been saying it since the offseason. This team's overhyped. The hype on Illinois went really overboard. And nothing I've seen this year has deviated me from that. They do defeat USC by 2 points at the end of September. Worth pointing out that was in Illinois. We've talked about, and by the way, that was a nooner. USC played on a 9:30 a.m. body clock that game. They travel all the way to Illinois from Southern California, play at a body clock time of 9:30 a.m. and lost by 2 points. Just saying, if it was in USC would have won. If that game was played in Los Angeles, I think USC wins that game. They defeat Purdue pretty handedly as far as final score goes, but they still let Purdue score 27 points on them.
Mm-hmm.
I think Illinois is Luke Altmyer. Period. Hank Beattie's a good wide receiver. I'm not going to say he isn't. They do have some talented guys on the defense. But they don't have 11 talented guys on the defense. Quite frankly, they do have a good pair. Here's part of your problem. Their two leading tacklers are safeties. That's never a good sign. Maybe if it was one of your safeties, because he's like an up in the box state where he's like Caleb Downs, right? Sometimes one of your safeties might be your leading tackler, but when both of your leading tacklers are safeties, that's a bad sign.
Yeah.
And by the way, also like solo tackles. They also both lead the team in solo tackles. I do think Gabe Jackus, and I'm probably mispronouncing that name, is a very good linebacker. I think he's probably the best player on their defense, quite frankly. And again, their safeties put up a lot of numbers. I don't see this team hanging with Ohio State. I think, again, Luke Altmyer is great. I think he's going to make some throws. I think he's going to put together some drives that piss off Ohio State fans to go, oh my God, the defense. Oh my God, what's wrong with our defense? Because Luke Altmyer is a very good quarterback. He is. So there'll be those moments in the game. That's
about
I'm
just trying to think what Illinois needs to do here, because they're not stopping Ohio State's offense from scoring. I just don't see it. So what does Illinois need to do?
in passing yards per game. Yeah. They aren't stopping Ohio State on offense.
What does Illinois need to do to try to keep up with Ohio State?
Never try to run, go full spread, get some turnovers, get some special teams play. Like, just everything's got to go right.
You kind of saw it with Washington a little bit at the first quarter and a half. Prevent as many possessions that you can for Ohio State, and then you need to capitalize on your possessions there. So nice long drives that they capitalize on it. So I think they're going to have to run. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the key thing, is slowing the game down. Ohio State's averaging, I think it was like 7.5 possessions a game. You make them have like 6 possessions in this game here. I think that's what Illinois needs to do here. And the question's going to come down to then, can they score, and can they not get into the red zone when scoring?
The problem with that plan is that they don't have a run game to control and eat clock.
Agreed. Yeah.
That's the problem. And
Illinois will have to. They need to run a 12 personnel. They really need to run a 12 personnel to protect Altmyer. And even
but then you're handicapping your passing game.
If that means you're giving your quarterback more time to pass, that's
to who? That's the problem. I don't think there's. Yeah. That's the problem.
Or maybe they need to
Spikes,
run. They need to run a 0-2 then.
Yeah. Spike says they probably need to stay out of the red zone offensively. Yeah, if you stay out of first and goal. If you're Illinois,
no running backs, 2 tight ends.
If you're Illinois, do everything you can to not go first and goal. Don't do it. If you
don't get inside the 20.
I mean,
that's why I said that score. You gotta score touchdowns.
I know the red zone.
The red zone.
I know the red zone is technically the 20-yard line. I know, but just like, don't go first and goal. If you get inside the 20, only take shots at the end zone. And I'm not kidding. I'm not joking. This is not tongue in cheek. I'm being dead ass serious. Just start chucking it in the end zone if you get inside or near the 20.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try and play first and goal against Ohio State. You will lose. Protect your quarterback, protect your neck, say some prayers. Jeremiah Smith's coming to town. I don't know what to tell you.
All right. Anything else? Anything else to cover here?
No.
We're a little over in time, so we'll go ahead and take that first ad break here. TheSloopcast.com is your go-to link for anything and everything Sloopcast related. If you want to join our Discord, I think of all of the links in here, discord.thesloopcast.com is your main link if you're going to take anything away from this quick ad break. Discord.thesloopcast.com is our channel where you can come chat with Jared and I, come chat with our Sloop Cats down in the chat, and with anybody else that wants to join our little community, talk anything and everything Buckeyes, national college football, and the National Football League as well too. But in general, it's a nice community,
and also national college football,
and national college football too. Yes.
And Kyle would love if more people showed up to talk basketball during the basketball season. Kyle would love
that. We'll see. But I digress. TheSloopcast.com, again, your go-to link for everything Sloopcast related. We'll take our first ad break and be right back.
All right, Kyle. We've got to know our enemy. That means it's time for
some Sloop Sayers. First up, Ohio State player to watch in this matchup.
Caleb Downs. Period.
That is the correct answer.
Are you also saying Caleb Downs? Because if you are, I'll say Caden Curry.
No, I'll pick somebody different.
Okay. Is it Caden Curry?
Is it Caden Curry? No.
You got to neutralize Luke Altmyer. That's what it boils down to.
I'll pick the captain. Give me the Blocko Sony Styles.
There you go. It looks like Spikes.
Pick one of the linebackers.
Yeah, Spikes once.
Both are playing exceptional right now.
Enemy player to watch. Already said it. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
The best Ohio State pair of linebackers since Laurinaitis and Darren Lee.
Laurinaitis and Darren Lee.
Oh, I'm sorry, not Darren Lee. I'm sorry. Since like the days of like Laurinaitis, or even
if you're thinking like Hawk Carpenter.
Yeah.
Although national championship linebackers were also nasty with Darren Lee, among others. Yeah. Man, I don't know. That was a nasty trio.
That 2005 with Hawk, Carpenter,
Schlegel. Yeah, it's that.
Marcus Freeman was a freshman that year.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and then the national. Yeah. Anyway, we're not talking about
the best since then.
The national championship crew was really the 2014 crew was really good too. Anyway, Kyle, we need to focus on the task at hand. Enemy player to watch is Luke Altmyer. Period. Done.
It's Luke Altmyer. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to try to pick somebody else. It's Luke Altmyer. Key matchup. It's the defensive line for Ohio State and the pass protection for Illinois. If Illinois can give him time and give the wide receivers time to get open, because it's just how it is. You give them more time. It is very hard from a defensive back to cover someone for something over 5 seconds. It's just so difficult. I don't care how good you are. It is so tough to guess which direction a receiver is going to go. Right. So can Illinois' line and tight ends give enough time for Altmyer?
On the flip side of that, if the defensive backs can, in fact, give the defensive line an extra second and a half, maybe even two, Altmyer is going to get sacked all day. So I'll go with Ohio State's defensive backs versus Illinois' wide receivers.
Okay. All right. The spread in this one, Jared, is 17.5 points.
15 and a half.
15
and a half points. I don't, what is it? I wonder, what is it right now? The CBS locked it in at 15 for our web picks. Has it moved at all?
I am looking it up. If you give me,
I'm giving you
2 more seconds.
I'll give you 3. 1.
Oh wow, 2. That is, holy crap! That gave me basketball. Why are you giving me basketball?
Because why would you be interested in Illinois football?
Sure.
Of course, why would you be interested in Ohio State basketball?
It is now 14.5.
It moved in that direction?
As we're speaking right now, 14.5.
Why would it move in that direction? People are dumb. Ohio State's this is gonna be a ramshackle. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, clearly not enough.
All right. Spread pick, Ohio State 15.5. You can tell by the way Kyle and I are talking, or maybe you saw during the salute picks during Collegiate Chaos on Wednesday, that we don't think 15.5 is near enough. We both take Ohio State to win. We both take Ohio State to cover. Kyle, do you have a final score prediction?
Yeah, so I was actually pulling up my calculator here. I have Ohio State 42. And Ohio State will give up their first double-digit score, 42-10.
He did it. Guys,
I did do it. Yes, I did. What do you have, Jared, as your final score?
My score is actually a combination of your final score and Spike's final score. He says 42-6 down in the chat, where I thought, didn't you say 4? Oh, I thought you said 45. Never mind. I am taking 45 points to 6.
45-6. All right. All right, cool. All right. And last up here, Jared, is Austin's over-unders. So he has Altmyer's total yards at 202.5. Ooh, those sacks, baby. Those sacks coming into play here. 202.5. And he says total yards, not passing yards, total yards.
Yeah. Passing.
Austin's a little sneaky here.
he's a sneaky little guy. For what it's worth,
I'm good.
He's only lost, despite losing 134 yards via sacks.
Holy crap, he has, hasn't he? Yeah.
His total rushing yards is only -8. So he can still get a little bit on the ground here or there every once in a while.
He can, yeah.
I wouldn't call him a big running threat, but you know.
Yeah.
He passes for about 275 a game. And that's against a lot of bad defenses. Against Ohio State, I think that number will come down more than 75 yards. I'm going to go under.
I'm going to go over. I'll go over on this one here. They're going to get down and they're going to need to pass. They're not going to be able to run. So
just because they need to pass doesn't mean they'll be able to do it.
He's going to get his yards. So, yeah.
He's also going to lose.
over.
I also think he's going to get sacked a few times, which will work against that.
Yeah. Sacked twice against Purdue, once against USC, and 7 times against Indiana.
Yeah.
All right. Downs and Atkinson. Atkinson. Jeez, I can't talk. Impact plays at 3.5. So impact plays, sack, tackle for loss, interception, forced fumble, fumble recovery.
Yeah.
Honestly, hasn't really done a lot when it comes to turnovers. So tackle for loss and sacks here. I'm going to go under. I'm going to go under here.
The problem with this is that Atkinson hasn't been in on a lot of run plays. Because I think TFLs are... If you get over on this, I think, you're going to need some TFLs. Atkinson hasn't been like the primary guy during rundowns. I don't think Downs will be playing up a lot this game. I don't think this is a game where you need Caleb Downs down in the box. So I don't see him getting a lot of TFLs. Things like interceptions are just, and forced fumbles and fumble recoveries are just unpredictable and can't be counted on. So I'll go under.
Okay. All right.
We don't do those anyway. We might I mean, and for what it's worth, Illinois does not turn the ball over.
All right. Next one here. Tate plus JJ plus Ennis touchdowns at 2.5. I'll go over with this one.
Yeah, I'll go over. Again, Illinois, 119th in the country passing yards per game against. Two and 3/4 yards per game they allow through the air against, again, not great competition.
Yeah. Let's see. Illinois third down conversion percentage, 35.5. Mentioned earlier, they are 79th in the country at 37.5% on third down conversions, while Ohio State is third best in the country of letting up 19.6% of third down conversions.
Under.
Yikes.
Under.
Yeah. Push that button up a few times there, Z Spikes. Under. Lambeau total yards set at 113.5.
Illinois does give up a lot of rushing yards. The question here is how many touches is Bo gonna get?
That's a great question.
I gotta go
that's
under.
The question. I gotta go under just statistically with.
He hasn't caught a lot of balls yet.
No. Yeah, I'm going to go under as much as I want to say over. Okay.
I would for me to go over on this, it would need to be more like 90. I think I would take the over at like 90, maybe 85.
Sure.
113 feels too high for me.
Yeah. Tight end receptions for both teams at 9.5. I don't think they throw it to their tight ends that often from what I remember here. Yeah.
Their leading receiver has 5 receptions or their leading receiving tight end, if that makes sense.
Tight ends. They both have 5.
Yeah. So that's...
And then they also have a third one with 1. So they have 11 receptions so far this year through 5 games.
And if they have tight ends on the field, it'll probably be to help protect Altmyer. So I
Yeah.
expect very, very little from them. So the question then becomes, can Ohio State get 9, 10 receptions
I'm thinking that
from their tight
I'm
ends?
thinking that
Probably not.
Illinois would be about 3.5 receptions
No,
for their tight ends.
That's way too many.
And Ohio State would be like 5.5. So
I
I'll
feel
go
like
under.
I think your Ohio State number is great. I think your Illinois number is too high, and yet you're still under.
Yes.
Under.
All right, and staying passing yards at 256.5.
Over.
Give me the over.
Over.
All right, and that is it. That is it for Austin's over unders, as we are over on time, as is tradition.
We're pretty good.
So we'll go ahead. We'll go ahead and wrap it up right there.
Yeah. Austin, we just got done with your overs and your unders. Don't ask us to recap what they were, because I don't remember. We disagreed on at least one. I will say that.
We did.
It's okay. You don't have to take notes. We record these. It's fine. That's it. That's the show. Kyle, do you have anything in Kyle's corner?
Black stripe alert, Jared. And I know this will be released a few days later, so everybody will know, but we got a new black stripe alert. And that is the kid from Ohio, Tavian St. Clair.
Ooh. From
with his black stripe
Bellefontaine, Ohio.
Bellefontaine.
As you guys like to say up there. Bellefontaine.
Nah, just Bellefontaine.
Sure.
We always say Bellefontaine just for the shits and the giggles.
That's fair. But also you just kind of like it. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah. Man, that's the first black stripe in quite a while. It's like 3 weeks.
No, they don't come off that frequently during the season. I don't think typically.
Well, there's been about 6 or 7.
All right. Anything else in Kyle's corner?
That's it. That's all I got.
All right. Tonight's ending music, just like the last 2 episodes, will be from Ohio-based band called The Old Breed. So with all that being said, I'd like to encourage everyone to drink local beer, listen to local music, and of course, support your local podcasters. Once again, this is The Old Breed.